Ecological restoration, or the process of assisting the recovery of an ecosystem that has been damaged, is an important part of the work conducted by Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources. We met with Damon Moore, manager of the Ecological and Marine Resources Division, to take a sneak peek tour of Manatee County's latest restoration project, the Robinson Preserve expansion.
Hi, my name is Damon Moore. I am the division manager of the Ecological and Marine Resources Division in the Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources Department. And me and the group of people I work with have the distinct pleasure of creating and working with our partners to make these beautiful restoration projects happen here in Manatee County. Right now, we're almost in the exact middle of the Robinson Preserve expansion project. This is 150 acres that was added to Robinson Preserve back in 2012 through a very generous donation of the Conservation Foundation of the Gulf Coast.
Acquisition of the Robinson Preserve expansion protected this land from residential development and brought the total size of Robinson Preserve to over 600 acres. Increasing the habitat value for wildlife in this densely populated area of western Manatee County.
When that was donated to Manatee County, we started working with our partners to see what we could do to maximize the benefit of this property and really bring a wonderful restoration project, but include good recreational amenities in it as well, so that we had benefits both to the people in Manatee County and all of the wonderful birds and fish and wildlife, everything that people want to come out and see.
Ongoing ecological restoration and improvements to the site include the removal of invasive exotic plants, earthworks to create a diverse patchwork of elevations and habitats, native plantings and aquatic habitat restoration, construction of shade shelters and benches, kayak storage tubes, restrooms, and picnic pavilions. The site also features a rubberized track for walking and jogging, the Mosaic Center for Nature, Exploration, Science, and Technology, also known as the Nest, and the Canopy Zone, an elevated play space for explorers of all ages. Ecological restoration of the Robinson Preserve expansion has taken place over many years and with the help of multiple partners.
First, we worked with the Southwest Florida Water Management District on the first phase of earth moving out here so that we could shape the land to recreate these habitats to maximize their values for wildlife and water quality and wetland function. The Water Management District allowed us to finish the first phase of the habitat restoration project, but there was still a lot of work that needed to be done to connect the basins that were created on the first phase of restoration with the tidal waters on the outside. With that, Manatee County was able to use Restore Act funding in partnership with NIFWIF and NOAA, and got to work with some great people with those organizations to really maximize the benefit of the project and keep it moving forward in the right direction to help see the vision of the restoration out here. So the final phase of this project is replanting and restoring the upland habitats to this site. This has been through great help from the Restore Act, through the Tampa Bay Estuary Program, and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, who've provided funding to allow us to take these rolling grassy hills and replant these so that they're on a restoration trajectory back towards natural coastal habitats such as coastal hammock, cedar hammock, pine flatwoods, live oak hammock. We've got some cabbage palm hammock. We're going to have a beautiful representation of natural coastal habitats that would have historically existed in this part of the state, but through numerous reasons aren't as prevalent as they once were. And it's really wonderful when you get those back, you get the native trees and the shrubs, it brings the birds back, the butterflies back, all the insects back, and it's going to be this beautiful transformation that we'll all get to witness over time, because as much as I would like to be able to buy these trees full size, at this scale, there's not enough money out there to do that. So working with our partners, we've put a lot of small trees and shrubs back that over the next 10 to 20 years are going to transform this open landscape into these beautiful coastal forested areas that are going to be here for generations to enjoy.
Looking back in time, the main habitat found in what is now Robinson Preserve was pine flatwoods. From about the 1930s onwards, the land was deforested and converted for agricultural production. Over the years, many exotic invasive plants colonized the area, reducing its ecological function and value. Parks and Natural Resources staff and partners aim to restore this function in creative ways that benefit recreational access, our local economy, and the environment.
Along with all of the restoration components of this project, we were very aware of the popularity and uses of Robinson Preserve as they are today. So we kept that in mind as we were developing the plan for this site. And you can see with the trails that are out here, there's new kayak tubes, there's new restrooms. We wanted to really maximize both the benefits to nature, but also make this accessible to people to come out and be able to enjoy it as well. But one of the highest benefits that we realized we could do is to take advantage of its proximity to the estuarine habitats that are here with Perico Bayou, with Manatee River, and build on those. So we worked with some fisheries experts and came to the conclusion that if we made specific design modifications on this property, that we could benefit juvenile snook and juvenile tarpon. That was really important because those are limiting phases for those species of fish. So what we've done out here is within these waterways, we've created some of these backwater habitats, which are vitally important for that first year of development of those fish. So you'll see these areas where we'll have very shallow water, so that limits the predatory fish from being able to get back there and feeding on those juvenile fish. So we created this nursery habitat in different areas back here, and we're lucky that we've got partners that are going to be doing monitoring on this. But the goal with that is to really boost those fish populations in our area, because they're wonderful native species, but they're also economically important in this area. There's a lot of people whose livelihood depends on bringing people out to catch those. So we want to try to mix the economic benefits with the ecological benefits and really build both up. And that was one of the goals with this project.
Ecological restoration often requires careful planning and coordination and can take many years to complete.
When we take on a restoration project like this, there's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people don't see when they just come out and say, oh, look, they plugged a couple of trees in the ground. Like anything else, we have to work this stuff from an established budget. So knowing that, there's a lot of variables that come into play. So first of all, there's numerous different types of habitat that we have set up out here. The basis of what habitat you're going to choose from has a lot to do with what kind of soils you have there, what the moisture content is in those soils, what's appropriate for the area you're looking at. So once you do that, we have an idea of the type of habitat that we want to restore to. So what we'll do from there is we'll find a good representation of that habitat that exists naturally and that's being managed well, and that serves as our reference site. So we'll go out to that reference site and take measurements of what the tree spacing is, what the species consistency is, and really use that as a model that we'll try to develop to basically serve as the guide to the habitat we're trying to restore. But when you get into some of these these rarer habitats, like these kind of coastal hammock systems like this, sometimes it can be hard to find the plants you need in the size you need at the time you need them. So we have to work with some good contractors that are able to locate these things from nurseries across the state. And it can be a challenge, but once you get that beautiful diversity of species back reestablished, and you can start to see like where you're going to have areas that are going to be nice shaded hammocks once they mature. It's really worth that effort that you put in on the front hand. And this entire project is definitely an example of that, where all of the time that our staff has been put into determining what these plants need to be and what their spacings need to be, and working through the budgeting process and the procurement process. It's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes, but it's what keeps us going. It's what motivates us from the restoration people like myself to the people that handle the billing for this thing. There's a great team of people in our department that really make all the pieces come together to make this happen. And we're happy to do it, and we're always happy once these things kind of get on the road and we can bring people back out and see all of that, all these tough billing questions we had. This is what it was all for. And then you have some birds feeding on some shrubs that we planted, and that's really what makes it worth it for us.
Thank you to our staff and partners for your tireless efforts to protect and restore the Robinson Preserve expansion and other natural lands in Manatee County. For more videos, look for Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources on Facebook or YouTube.
Plants are important. The end.